Hello, this is Rafik Metri, and today I will be sharing with you my senior's thesis project. I've been working on this project for a few months now, and I'm really excited with how it turned out, and I really wanted to share this with the CS department. This project is designed to help me understand game development, and also to explore and develop my understanding of level design. I'm doing this because I hope that after I graduate, I can become a game developer, and I really felt like I was able to put my heart and soul into this project, and that's why I want to share it with you guys. So anyway, normally I would go more in depth in the level design and gameplay decision areas, and game design decisions, but because this is the CS department, I will be going more in depth with programming and how everything functions. For the sake of time, I won't go over everything, but I'll just give examples. And I will throw in some stuff about level design for those who are interested. And also, if you want more of that, I will have another video somewhere else. I'll still figure that out, but yes. So anyway, let's get into it. So this game is called Vengeance Lost Souls. It is a grim and dark fantasy, which it's not grim right now, but it will be in just a second. The story is that what was it again? Oh yeah, there's a cult. There's a cult that's killing people and sacrificing people, and you have to deal with them. So yeah. Anyway, this is where the player starts. I call this the sanctuary. This angel statue here is a safe checkpoint, so we can save here. But for the sake of time and convenience, I've disabled death. But it looks cool. So this is the entrance to the dungeon. And this is a health pack. We pick it up, and if you look at the bottom left, we get 50 health. That's the large health pack. So then we descend into the dungeon. So now that we've loaded in, we can see that there is a armor pack right here. So we pick it up. This is a medium armor pack. We pick it up, we get 25 armor if you look at the bottom left. And then we have this area here, and this is one of my first game design decisions. I use light to guide the player to where I want them to go. There is a room right here, and depending on your monitor, you might not be able to see it, but there's a door right here. And if you press E, which is what you would normally press to open doors, it doesn't work. And so the purpose of this is to force the player to get the shotgun, but at the same time, make sure they see the shotgun, make it very obvious that, hey, pick this up. So anyway, you go up to it with all the nice, fancy, bright lights, and I call it the Soul Eater because it's a nice and cool, edgy name. So I pick it up, and everything turns on, enemies spawn, everything's going crazy, and I'm gonna stop talking because the shotgun's kind of loud, so. Yeah. So this is also ammo for the shotgun right here. So if you notice, the AI is very, very basic. I kind of struggled with getting it to work the way that I wanted to, but I eventually gave up on it because that's not the focus of this project. The focus of this project is level design and not combat. So, yeah. Anyway, another level design decision that I made is that I really wanted to explore the differences between linear and nonlinear design. And I mostly explored linear design, but in the beginning, there's some nonlinear stuff, and that's basically just there's two doors, and the player has an option to go through either door. Also, there's a third door, but if you look closely, there's two locks on it, so we can't go in there right now. But each path that the player can take has a different form of linear design. And so the first one, I explore a loop path, save just for funsies because it looks cool. Check out some of the design. Looks pretty nice. Let's walk in, and we get into combat. And the flames are designed to show that the doors are disabled, and if you click on it, it doesn't work. So let's fight these guys. There's that, and the flames go down, and the doors are enabled. Let's pick up some health and armor and some ammo to restock. If we go here, we'll come into our next enemy, which is the runner. And the runner, he'll run at you and blow up, but I'll show that later on. And then we get our next item. So we pick that up, and that's called this the Soul Snatcher. It's basically a grapple hook, and it works. The idea is similar to Doom Eternal, except it works more like the grapple hook from the Zelda series. So another game design decision is that the player sees their goal, or sees the use of the new tool that they got over here, but we can't reach it. It's too far away for us. And so you right-click to use this tool. I don't have any tutorials for that yet, but I will do that in the future. So let's fight these guys. And here again, I'm using light to guide the player. Everything's dark except for this. We can right-click and we grapple up. Oops. And again, it's too far away, so we use the chandelier to get over here. Like, there we go. We'll press E. Oh, and I forgot to show that there was a gate here, but you could kind of see it right there. But after I pressed that button up there, it went down. And then if I press E to pick up this key, we'll see that the gate goes down. And now we can unlock our first lock. Maybe we try to unlock the second one, it doesn't work because we don't have the second key. Then we go here. We'll run into another enemy. It's the runner, and this time I'll let him blow us up. Oh. Okay, let's get some health, some armor. And we can also see that the bomb that was around the runner, it's right here, and I forgot to texture that, but that's okay. Little sneak peek at behind the scenes, I guess. Pick up some armor. And this, well, we don't know what that is yet. We'll see very soon. Here's our next key. But if we try to go back, there's no way of getting out. This is actually a destructible wall, but I don't have any indicators for that. I'll add like a crack or something to make it more obvious. So this is a big armor pack. 50-90, it gives you 50 health. Also, those little green ones, those are the small armor packs. Those give you 5. And the little red balls, those are small health packs. Anyway, here's our next area, and this is where we pick up the railgun, which I call the Vengeful Spirit. And if you haven't noticed by now, I use blue to show importance, the color blue to show an important item or an important way that the player needs to go. And let's say for funsies, just because it looks cool. So anyway, pick it up, and we now have the railgun. And so then, if we try to go back out, the door's locked. And this is where I'm trying to force the player to learn what this is. And if they click on it with a railgun, it's a button. Oh, I forgot to get rid of that. I'll do that in a bit. Yeah, anyway, so you, it's like the I button thing from Zelda, basically. So anyway, the gate went down when we pressed that, or when we triggered that, and so then we walk out, and we get some enemies that spawn. And so we're seeing some dev stuff right now that I forgot to disable, but that's okay. So then we shoot. I'll explain what that is later. And so we saw our next enemy, which is the sniper enemy, and they shoot, unlike the shooter, it shoots one strong projectile at a time. So this is the railgun ammo, and we can pick it up. It gives you 5 at a time. Then we can get some health. And now, I forgot to show this earlier, but if we try to shoot this with a shotgun, if we try to shoot the bomb with a shotgun, sorry, if we try to shoot the bomb with a shotgun, it doesn't work. But if we shoot it with the railgun, it blows up. So then, we now have our next key, and we managed to get back to the center. Let's open it, and it's unlocked, and we can go to the next level. And I will, for the sake of time, I won't show more of this, but I mean, you guys get, I'll show, no, that's okay. There is one more thing that I want to show. So there actually is one more thing that I want to show. I don't teach it here in this part of the game, but what you can do with the bomb is and the shotgun is that you can grapple the bomb and pull it towards the player, and if you left click again, it'll be launched. There's a secret here that I don't really show yet, but it can be you can use the railgun and the shotgun kind of like this, where you shoot that. Oh, missed it. Ah, okay, try that again. Oh no. There we go. And there's a little secret up there, and you can actually go up there and jump like this. What? Maybe from the other side? Like this. Okay, I know you can do it. I know. Oh, I have to get this down. There we go. So yeah, there's nothing here, but it's a secret. And yeah, next I'm going to show some of the programming stuff. So here's a great example, the first person character. Let's take a look at, okay. So this is called Blueprints. This is one of the two programming languages that you could use with, I mean, I don't know if you could use more, but the two that I know that you could use with Unreal Engine, Blueprints, and C++. Um, uh, Blueprints is very, sorry, I usually don't like drag and drop programs, especially I've used them in the past and I find them unnecessarily difficult and frustrating. However, Blueprints is very flexible, very powerful, very useful, very convenient, and I really fell in love with using this. Um, Maybe in future programs, I want to try out how to code, a traditional coding rather than Blueprints. But anyway, you can do everything you can normally do with coding. You can do with Blueprints. You can do everything you normally can with Blueprints. These are all of my different classes, and there is some inheritance. So, like, where's an example of so there was the destructible wall. Where are you? Yeah, the destructible wall. If you look at the top right here, its parent class is a destructible object, which I made myself. It's this one right here. But anyway, and there's also functions and variables. So you have your functions over here. I have a lot of functions in this class and a lot of variables here. You have macros, dispatchers, other things. This is the event graph. This is basically the, I guess you could say, the main of the class. So let's take a look at how to shoot, or how the way I've coded how to shoot. So there's check. So first, so this is the left click, and then first I check whether the player has the weapons or not. So before they pick it up, they can't shoot. Then I check which weapon they're using. So if they're using the railgun or the shotgun, and then I do an ammo check. I realized later on that I've done 3 ammo checks, but that's okay. So yeah. Anyway, here's an ammo check. So the first person class has the shotgun, which you can see here, the shotgun and the railgun as an object, and these are, so here's like the railgun class. Also, you have the viewport. This is where you don't have this in traditional coding, so it's very useful. So after we check the ammo, we fire, and so the fire event. Oh, sorry, this is one of the parent classes. The railgun, the fire event here. So first we can check if it can fire. That's like the cooldown, so the fire rate. And then we do a couple ammo checks, which are unnecessary. And then we do a line trace, and this is where the cool stuff happens. And the line trace is that line that you saw. So first we get the player character, or the location of the player camera, and this is all figuring out the direction and the length of the line. Then we have this thing called line trace by channel, and that's what makes the line. And then this is like the output of the line. So you get the hit actor, and we use the hit actor. So depending on which actor it hits, it does certain different things. So for example, the runner and the bomb, they explode. And then the simple AI, it takes if it hits an enemy, which I call simple AI. This is like the parent class of all of the different AIs. It takes damage, and then if it hits the I button, it will trigger a hit event, or it'll call a dispatcher. I guess another interesting one could be, so that's kind of like the gist of programming in here. See if I can come up with another example. So buttons are very fun, or they're very easy to make. The reason why I'm showing this is because each level has its own blueprint or class, and you could do a lot of stuff with this. And so this is how you use objects to talk to one another. So for example, I use this button to talk to this gate. And the way you can do that is by, so the button class, where is it? Button class has, when I press E on it, it has this button dispatcher. And what that does, it's kind of like in Java where you wait for a button to be pressed, it's kind of the same thing. So this one. So I tell it, so I bind this dispatcher to an event, so that way when it's called, it'll run this function or this event, and it'll run the grapple button pressed, and it will, this gate right here, this one, this gate, it will call this gate, and it'll run the unlock function, which is what brings the gate down, and then I disable the button. So this is kind of like the gist of programming in Blueprints and Unreal Engine. Here's some AI stuff, which is kind of, it's not complicated, but it's kind of a lot for now, and also for time. Just to show how crazy Blueprints can get, especially for levels, I'll show the next level. This is where a lot of work went into. You can get pretty crazy with this. Let's take a look at it. This one's really, really big. So it's like this. There's a lot in this. This is the most complicated. This is the final level in the game, so it's the most complicated. There's a lot of different events and dispatchers and all this other stuff, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. But so for example, like spawning enemies. So like if they walk over a trigger volume, which, you know, if you walk into a certain space, it'll trigger. So I disable the doors, I show the flames, then after a delay, I spawn the enemies, and then I disable the trigger volume, you know, stuff like that. This is how you program in Blueprints. So yeah, there's nothing really else that I want to show. And yeah, so that's my game. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will have a playable demo at some point, maybe in a future newsletter. But I will also have a video that goes into more level design in the future. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching.